It's just a big fan.
I'd love to hear your thoughts. I like the other stuff. Hey there, it's Jon Dorn, Backpacker Magazine. We're here at the Winter Outdoor Retailer Show with two of the true heavyweights in this industry. On my left, Skip Yowell, the founder of Jansport, pack company, and on my right, Peter Whittaker, the famous Whittaker of Mountaineering family, and currently leading RMI, Rainier Mountaineering Incorporated. Is that correct? Yep. So, fellas, just maybe introduce yourselves quickly here, where you came from, how you got in business.
Skip Yowell, John. We started Jansport in 1967. Transmission shop in Seattle. We designed a board without best use of the frame pack for backpackers are very first model. That's kind of where the heritage and the foundation of the company started.
Great. And Peter?
I was born into a mountaineering family, so I've been climbing by choice, but also living by choice at a young age. Currently running Rainier Mountaineering. We have about a staff of 70 guides. Course up and around here, climb all over the world. Guide Rainier, McKinley, worldwide.
So let's step over here and look at this pack that you've just designed for Jansport. Conveniently named the Whittaker.
Wow, how did that happen?
We reviewed this in the gear guide. Maybe you could give viewers just a little bit more detail on what you brought to pack design as a mountaineer. You've always got a lot of experience needing to carry heavy loads and wanting to keep all that crap out of your way. So maybe you could point out a couple features here.
You bet. John, the intent with this pack was to simplify and keep it lightweight, but also durable. Mountain guide up on Rainier, your equipment is 150 days or more. So you want it lightweight, but it needs to be durable as well. The suspension system's pretty key in a pack like this. And if you take a look at the padding on the shoulders and also on the hip suspension, it's fairly thin, and we feel we can get too over padded with it. But there's enough there to carry 50 pounds in this pack and have it ride pretty well. Simplicity, if you ask all the guys what do they want, it's a single compartment. I think bells and whistles add up the weight, so we really tried to strip them off and keep it pretty lean. This pack right now is fourth version that we were riding all summer on Rainier, up and down the guides carrying it and coming back with input, what Deck is giving Jansport and making tweaks, and we think this thing is pretty darn close to what works best up on Rainier, not just for mountain guide, but also for our clients as well. 50 pounds, pretty comfortable, and not too many bells and whistles.
Now you alluded to, you've got a pretty unique testing opportunity with the guides, having all summer long, somebody going up every single day. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that. And then, is there one thing that the guides came back to you after that first round or the second round and said, you got to change this? This just isn't working.
First off, if you put 70 mountain guides in a room together and ask them to agree on something, it's not going to happen unless there's alcohol involved, and then it may happen. But everybody comes back with different ideas, and if half of them are saying, yeah, we like this feature, and half are saying, no, we don't, we probably stay away from it. But if you get 70, 80, 90% that are all saying, hey, you know what, you really got to change this, then you listen to it and pay attention. Again, I think trying to get a pack that carries a pretty good sized load comfortably and is simple. We're probably 20, 30 times a day in and out of that pack. So color coordination on some of the strapping systems, like the whole lid, it has a separate color on the webbing, little simple things like that, so you're not grabbing the wrong buckle at the same time, which really seem pretty simple, maybe not too important, but every day, every other time you're going for that strap, you're grabbing the wrong one, it's pretty irritating. So I don't know, those aren't really technical features, but it's some of the simplicity that works well, we think.
Well, that's exactly what a lot of our testers like too, and just simple things like the length of the straps. Sometimes you see shoulder straps, sternum straps that are 3 feet long, and up on Rainier, you get wind whipping around, that stuff's flapping in your face. And then we also really liked the lashing options, just the simplicity of sort of this rubberized lashing loop there that's not going to get in your way, but it's there if you need it, it's well anchored.
Right. Another simple thing, out in the field, you you can step on some of these buckles and they're going to break. And what we try to do is keep them the same size so you can harvest from different areas. You can get by without a side buckle. You smash this, or you know, another important buckle, you can actually take something off the side and get away with it. It's going to work well. We're considering maybe another pocket on the outside. We don't have a lot of room. We do have a nice access panel for going inside, and that's great. You don't need to get inside from the top all the time. You just want to get in quick. You can slip in through the access panel. Another pocket or two might be integrated into the next version. But overall, try and keep it streamlined. Your arms, pretty good profile. You know, it's a little bit more of a teardrop. It's not a super technical pack, but still, yeah, it works.
Well, it's great to see something. We were talking about this before. It's great to see something that has a real foundation and full-on field use. And looking forward to the next iteration. You talked about alluded to some other designs that you got coming out that we're pretty excited about. But let me turn back to you, Skip. You know, you've got a brand new book out, sort of part autobiography, part business history, part you know, guide to climbing the corporate ladder. You know, how do you sort of see the history of Jansport now? 40 years old, the company, you know, starting with some, as you said, some pretty simple external frame designs, moving on to a really technical pack like this. How is it for you, you know, seeing the evolution of this company over 40 years?
John, one of the ways we really built the Jansport brand was a lot of our work with Peter's father, Peter and the guys. And this is real important. What they do and test and use 365 days a year affects a lot of the products from the durability and quality standpoint. We put a lifetime guarantee on everything we manufacture, so making a product that's functions properly is very important. So from the day we started to 40 years later, to me, this person is very important to keeping that authenticity and heritage of Jansport.
Now, I think our readers might be interested to know that for decades, I think Jansport's been holding a retailer seminar up on Mount Rainier, so that your top retailers, maybe 24 a year, go up there and with Peter and his guides, go through, you know, pack clinic, climbing clinic, try to get to the summit. You know, I was lucky enough to be invited on one of those trips. Why do you do that? Why is that so valuable to your retailers and then to customers?
Good question, John. This should be our first year together. We've taken out here and brought it down here. Years now, it's an opportunity to get familiar with the gear that we're selling back in the shop. So get people excited about it. Come back with their own stories and things. Focus. Talk a lot about the business. It's not one thing. Climb's not very safe for you. Make the sun. It's just a great fun experience.
Yeah, I unfortunately didn't make it up that first time because of weather, but it's also good for his business because I came back. I had some unfinished business myself. Came back a couple years later and went up with a couple of your guys. So
guide service is like that. Not making the summit is good.
Right. Well, thanks, guys. It's real nice talking to you today.